Boom.
Does that mean we're live?
Yes.
Are we?
Okay. I just I'm assuming because you just see.
I don't see a thing. Are we live, ability?
Yes.
There we
Yes,
go.
we're live.
What's going on, 239 Hockey? This is Pale Poner coming at you from my basement again, as usual. It's lovely. Listen, guys, Daly is not going to be here today. We are just going to be rolling without him. I've got a large panel today. I just want to get through everybody. We got a couple of new faces on here that you guys haven't seen before. But first up, I'm going to bring it over to Agent. How's it going, Agent? What's going on today?
Going good. I had the day off today, so no complaints. And I was, for once, not the one late for the show, so that is a plus. I'll bring it over to our next co-host, Ability.
Yo, what's going on? My beautiful family. I'm eating some pizza. I got some beer, and I'm hanging out with these lovely dudes tonight. So we got a couple guests, right? We got Master Shotgun. He's coming back with us. We got Dare Cortez. He's coming back with us. And the two new guys that we're going to introduce in a moment. I got D-Mart and Pixel Slash. D-Mart, take it away, buddy. Say hi to everybody and pass it around.
What's up, 239 family? Yeah, first time on the show. I'm using my cell phone, so this is going to be interesting. It's going to hurt my back here. I'm looking at a table. But other than that, let's throw it off to Cortez. What up, Cortez?
Oh, I'm doing all right. So this is the legendary D-Mart. This is the one we we all hear about.
I don't know,
First time
man. You went online on Twitter the other day, and you said hello, and you had like 50 likes. So I don't know, man. You got something going on over there.
That's just my shit. I do, I guess. That's just what follows with it.
That's awesome.
But I'm doing pretty good today. How's everyone else here doing?
Let's kick it over to Shotgun. Shotgun, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. I got this weekend off from work, even though I'm going to be dog sitting for my aunts, but I got a whole house to myself, so parties!
There you go. Nice. All right, and last but not least, we've got Pixel Slash, a.k.a. The Rock. He's doing the website. How you doing, Pixel?
Good. Thanks for the invite. It's nice to be here. Kind of a shock. I didn't expect to get it today, but got everything all up and going. Got my room cleaned. It doesn't look too bad. A little dust everywhere, but
Nice.
made it.
We can't even notice that.
Yeah.
All right, so let's just jump right into it. We had a couple of playoff series already end tonight. We've got another one coming in tonight. Listen, the first series that was on the board, it was my guys. It was Winners coming versus Wolfpack HC. I don't know who all watched it, but obviously myself and Shotgun were involved. Shotgun, I'm going to go to you first. What happened to us, man? Obviously, we lost in 5.
There was a lot that happened. EA decided to royally rate me literally all series. That cost us the game, 2 games actually, because the fucking overtime game. Okay, this other team was playing in just the way that I absolutely cannot stand, of just throwing the pucks at the net pretty much from whenever and just trying to get just bullshit EA goals all the time. And just series like that are just not that fun at all. And then our guys, a couple games, just played like complete crap. Besides game 3, which was like the only series, the only game that we won was a game 3.
Yeah, that was the only one that we won. We won 4-1.
Yeah, but then other than that, with I'll call it a very interesting party that was going on with Brick and Figo. That was. Listen, I like Brick a lot. He's a funny guy, but he sometimes he needs to keep this calm every once in a while, and just instead of just throwing out just like insults and say, "Oh my God, you suck," just help us out, like just motivate us, instead of just being negative all the time. I think honestly that I just pretty much killed the morale pretty much of our entire team.
Yeah, and I know that not everybody has been in a party with these guys. Honestly, that's just the way they are 100% of the time. That's the way they try to make each other better, is they yell at each other, they tell each other that they suck. They tell each other exactly what they think they're doing wrong. And I understand that sometimes that doesn't really work out for so many other people, but that's just the way it is. That's the way that they play. That's just their personality. So take that, as something that you know, you may want to look at in the future is maybe how the locker room chemistry goes. I didn't really think that we had too many issues this season. As
really.
far as that goes.
Not really. It's just playoffs.
You know, I think it started to wear on each other's nerves towards the end of the season here, but it really just, you know, it was a frustrating series, man. Wolfpack came at us with the 3-man forecheck, and it was heavy. And me and Sea-Doo had a lot to deal with back there.
Yeah.
I thought that we played really well in Game 5. I thought we executed what we wanted to do. It's just unfortunate that we ended up with a 5-minute major with 6 minutes left.
Yeah, that hurt.
Triangle on it.
That hurt.
That really, you know, we needed to sweep that series that night, and we just weren't able to do it. Shit happens, guys. Anybody else who watched the series? D-Mart, I think you were in a party with Esso and Marty and all them, taking a peek.
I was not. I was actually
okay.
not at that time. I didn't, because you guys played, I think, at 9:30. Didn't you get an early game in?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah,
that was
that
on
one.
Monday.
Oh.
And
Well, I'm
Sunday-
mixing up days.
Sunday we played 10:30.
Well, usually I do watch, but I don't know. I might have had my own series. I can't remember, but
Okay, no worries.
regardless, I did watch the first night, and I don't know. Yeah, they looked good. I mean, like I said, the forecheck seemed pretty heavy, and you guys seemed to have some trouble scoring. And now some people say, now that your wingers muted each other, that might have some play. You know, that might have something to do with it, but
They were
seems
not
like you're
muted during
downplaying it
the
there,
series.
pal.
They weren't muted. Figo just randomly came out and said, "Yeah, I haven't had you on mute for 2 weeks. I could hear you talking." What?
Yeah.
Made
Yeah,
no
see,
sense at
Shotgun's-
all.
Shotgun can't handle it. He's trying to play nets back there. He needs the guys in front of him communicating, but that's all right. I mean,
Yeah,
you guys
right.
had a powerful team. That Figo trade was big, but I guess just you ran into a good team.
You know what, man? I went into the series or into the week really, and I was rooting for Cosmic's team hard towards the end of the season. All that he needed to do is take 2 points from Bailey's team, and Cosmic doesn't face Black Sails, and Pale doesn't play Wolfpack. I was rooting for it. I didn't like the matchup. We went into it, and it just didn't work out for us. I mean, there's not really much else to say. Shout out to Clancy and Ozzy9041, Shock, all those guys. Everybody hit me up after the series. They said it was a good series. Total class from those guys. I really appreciated it. Those guys, you know, they played a really tough game, and I think that they're going to go pretty far, depending on who they match up with in the next round. We'll see.
Yeah. I'll
Adrian,
bet
how about you?
they're
You got
good.
any comments from that series? I don't know if you took a look at it.
Who? Me?
Yeah, that's you, buddy.
Oh, I couldn't hear what you said. No, I watched the first night. I think we played the same night on the second.
Yeah,
You
I
guys
think
did.
everybody played mine.
But no, first night. I don't know. It was pretty fun. I was in that party with Esso and Marty. I forget who else was in there. I know Dan was in there for part of it. That was pretty fun. Me and Esso were just having fun blowing up. I don't know whose Twitch it was. We were just going nuts on it. It was fun. It was a lot of fun watching the series. Oh, they were doing Pass the Bleach, I think, weren't they?
I'm sorry, what was that?
I think they were doing Pass the Bleach while you guys were playing.
Yeah,
remember right.
They were.
Oh, yeah, they did.
They were.
Yeah, so we were blowing up Choose feed while you guys were playing, and we had you guys on mute and listening to them. It was fun. It was a good time. I don't know. It was a really good series to watch, but it did not look like a fun night to play. I can definitely see that.
Yeah, that was a tough matchup, man. Wolfpack was great.
I don't know.
Anybody else?
Ability, did you catch that series at all, Ability?
No, the only bit that I caught of it was when I was watching the Pass the Bleach, and I was partaking in the chat, and I was mainly just in the chat interacting, and I got to hear the updates on the scores, and I was kind of in disbelief because
you got a play-by-play from me and Esso pretty much.
Yeah, I just think that the winter is coming, man. I really thought that the Figo trade was going to pay off. I thought that you in particular, Pale, were just putting the pieces together right at the right time. But for whatever reason, it seemed like when Figo came back this go, the chemistry wasn't there. Like it had been thrown off, like it disappeared. Just from what I heard, it sounded like these guys just weren't really meshing well at all. So, and I'm not saying attitude-wise. I mean on the ice, even the play style. So I don't know how something so good could go so bad, but it's unfortunate, man, because I think that a lot of people were pulling for your team and thought your team was going to go far.
Yeah, so I mean, me personally, we went into that series and I wanted to use the defense a little bit more on offense, and that's really what we did the whole season. I mean, if you look at both mine and Sea-Doo's point totals throughout the season, we were both up there for pretty much the entire season. Sea-Doo, I think, finished in first for defensive scoring. She had 51 points and 17 goals on defense, which is absurd.
Hashtag fourth forward.
Yeah. So I mean, like, you know, and it's not like she was playing like a fourth forward. It was more of,
She wasn't.
you know, that's just how our offense worked, and we got completely away from that in the Wolfpack series, and that's just, you know, it is what it is.
Tell us what really happened, Shotgun.
Not me, dude. Game one. Okay, game one. Like, the first goal wasn't EA bullshit from the blue line, because that's all the wingers were doing the entire series.
I was going to hear him blaming EA for the whole series.
No, I'm only talking about game one. Game two was the 8-0 was just a shit show in general. I played like crap. Literally everyone on the team. Game two played like crap, and then game three was, I forget what happened during game
4-1.
Oh yeah, that was that. And then game 5, yeah, that freaking 5-minute major at the end killed us. I was still making saves.
I mean, that's the series. Wolfpack took it in 5. I had a good time playing this season. I wish that we would have done better. I feel like we probably could have, and it just didn't happen. So let's go ahead and move on. Let's talk about Black Sails versus Just Tap It In. Just Tap It In, you know, ability. You guys got kind of a rough draw there. You needed a couple of points in the last series to avoid them. And instead, you weren't able to get it done. You ended up playing the number 1 seed in the league, which happens to be D-Mart's team. Ability, what happened in the series, man? What really made the difference for you?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know what happened in that series. I wanted to go against Black Sails. That's no secret here, because any goalie that's worth a shit wants to go up against the best offensive team to see how they do, right? Well, for 2 out of those 6 games, I did fantastic. The other 4, not so hot. Now, I'm not going to take all the blame there, right? It's a team effort, right? So that's how the goalie pawns that off. But we played good. We really did.
Sure.
The first 2 games, you know, we didn't really come out the way we wanted to, and these guys pwned us. They did on both ends of the ice. It was a struggle, and it was a little fault on our end, I feel. We were just struggling trying to adapt to their gameplay, and they took advantage of that the first 2 games, and they got us. The third game, we started to figure it out. I think on their end, from what I've heard, they might say that they weren't playing the best game, but we were playing a better game for sure. And so we tied it up. We managed to get into overtime just barely. And, you know, then our perfect, beautiful deflection goal gets waved off by an EA ref, because that's what they do. They shit on us. And then they come down the ice and score a game-winning goal in that OT, go up 3-0. Well, we won game 4, 4-1, luckily. Won game 5, 4-1. Played great. The defense on my team, those 2 games, was fantastic all around. My wingers, my defensemen, I was playing good in net all around. And then I don't know what happened in game 6. The fuck happened? You guys came out and shit all over me. Oh man. Mark, what's your take on that?
You just look especially upset there when you said shit all over me.
I do want to throw out a couple props real quick. After the series was over, I got a couple messages. You know, I jumped in the party, congratulated those guys. Legion sent me a message, and you know, he told me, he's like, you know, good matchup. He's like, you know, he said something after that I won't repeat, but he's like, you know, good matchup. You played well. I sent a very encouraging message to Legion. Just props to Legion. Sportsmanship, man. I appreciate that. I am one of those guys that appreciates that, so that's cool. And then all your team, man. Your whole team was great to all of us. You know, we said our congratulatories to you, but I want to hear your take on it, D-Mart. What did you think of the series?
Well, I mean, I thought it went like I was on what show was I on that? There was a show last week where I predicted, okay, that it was the Eastover Elitist, okay, where I predicted we win in 5 or 6, and it would be high-scoring games, and they all were. Like, I mean, they were all like 5-1, 5-1, 4-1, 4-1, and then the 9-3 game. I don't know. We were just shooting it on net because what happened in that last game, Swagger came down and scored a wraparound in like the first 20 seconds, And we were just like, no. So we all turned off our headsets and we just kind of went ham, I guess. But, you know, you get bounces in those games too. We're not scoring 9 goals every game. But I thought you played really well. I mean, in those games where it's 4-1, 4-1 for you guys, I think you were part of the reason because we were doing the same thing, I feel like. It's just game and then, yeah, but it was a good series, man. And I mean, I just knew it was going to be high scoring. It was fun. It was a good show.
Well, yeah, so you get, you know, return of Cosmic Fade with McSwagger on offense again for just tapping in. I mean, that's a formidable pairing. They went to the finals last season together. I think that they had a good team. They definitely deserve to be in the playoffs. I think it just came down to Black Sails having a little bit more of a complete team. You know, Black Sails, they've been good all season. They've been winning games. They've been winning big series. The whole season, they've just been running through people. And, you know, I think that's just what happened in the end is that, you know, you got 2 wins. You got your 4-1, 4-1 losses or wins against Black Sails. And then game 6, it's just you turn it on and you're like, no, we're not going to 7. Joe Thornton, you're fucking awesome. We're not going to 7 games. D-Mark's taking over. You know.
Yeah, Joey went ham. Joey was good too. I mean, you got to look at Joe Thornton back there. I think next year he might want to come in the league as a forward, or yeah, probably a center or right wing. But we're lucky that we got him as right D because he's committed to it and he's shutting everybody down. I think he's doing a great job this year. I think he should be a candidate for the Norris Trophy as well.
Yeah, I think Joe had a good year. I told him about halfway through the season, I'm like, Joe, man, like, I don't know how you're on a team playing D. It's just total unluckiness that you ended up on a team with D-Mark playing in the same position that you do. I really like Joe at forward. I think he's going to play forward next season, and I'm looking forward to seeing that because I think he's got potential to be a pretty good player in the league at the forward position. Not that he wasn't good on D either. He was great there as well. But I'm looking forward to seeing Joe playing there. Then you had Superstar on left D. You had 37 in net one series. You had Legion in net for the other half of the series. How's that working going forward for you guys, D-Mark? How do you think the part-time players is going to work out?
I think it's going to work out fine. Legion is good nets. He's, him and Hugh talk way too much about Elder Scrolls. It's really,
oh my God.
It's getting to the point now. Like, I'm going through the chat and I just want to leave the chat. When you wake up in the morning, you're kind of cranky. You look at like 30 messages that have nothing to do with the game. You're just like, oh my God. But other than that, they're great. They're great players. And I'm sure 37 wanted to be full-time, but he's doing well. When he has to play, he's there. Legion, same thing. So I think our goaltending's fine. I think our D's fine. Superstar, he's turning into a great lefty. I know he wants to play forward, but on our team and our system, he's got that right-handed shot, so he fits in perfect there. Burks up front's Burks. I think Burks is going to go top first round next year. He should. If you look at the points he has, he's a great player, and he should be playing right wing. Burks is a left-handed shot too, so put Burks on right wing with another center next year.
Yeah, and then you got No Cause Renegade, obviously, is another part-time guy that's on that team. He's been having a good year quietly, as he does all the time. That's a good guy, and he's had a good season.
Yeah, I've known No Cause for
Agent,
like 5 years, and just to go on No Cause before you go over to Agent, he's a good guy too. He's been showing up all season, comes to play, wants to win. So he's a guy that's been around this league for a while now, and I love you, No Cause.
Agent, looking at this series, is that the way you thought it would go? 6 games, Black Sails?
I did. I figured 6 or 7, and I figured Black Sails were going to win, just due to the offensive firepower. Just by looking at the stats of the two, you're hard not to choose them. Like you guys were saying about Zed, NCR, No Cause. He's a great dude. I drafted him last season. He helped me out with a lot of different stuff, and he plays really well, really sound at that position. And really had that whole lineup. I know Black Sails were picked as a favorite early on in the season just by looking at that lineup that Hugh drafted. He did a really good job. Great to start off the season. Kudos to him. He put together an awesome team, and they deserve to win that series still.
Yep, for sure. Hey, let's throw it over to Pixel. Pixel, I know that you're, kind of a little bit new to the league. You don't really know all these guys all that well. But looking at the 2 seeds, you got the number 1 seed going in against the number 8 seed. What do you think? What do you think Tap It In could have done, if anything, to stop the onslaught that happened at the end of this game here?
I mean, that's always tough when you're trying to shut down a high-powered offense, especially all those guys. Like I play with Joe and I play with Berkey and everything. And they're very difficult to play against. And the only thing I can think of is just you try to stay in your positions and try to force them to make mistakes and then try to counter, because that's all you can do pretty much is just wait for them to make a mistake, take the puck back, and try to make your own moves. It's very difficult.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I haven't had much experience watching the games. I'm very looking forward to the next season when I can kind of get into and know everybody and know the teams and everything. I'm so far behind right now because I'm working with the site and everything, so it's kind of hard to keep up with everything that's going on, but it's fantastic so far.
Mad props to you on the site so far, though. Everyone's having a
props.
Absolutely.
The speed of that site is wonderful, man. I'm enjoying the shit out of it.
Excellent. Like I said, it's a VPN, so it's our own server. So if it ever goes slow, let me know. And if we keep having problems, we can an extra $5 a month, and we can double our speeds and everything. So I don't think speeds will be an issue from now on, hopefully.
I don't think any speed will be an issue compared to this site right now. So
yeah,
mostly everything's faster than this. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm logged in at work, right? And I opened up both sites simultaneously at work this morning, and it's so hilarious because I just put them both on the Google Chrome, and I see the one for 239hockey.net just spinning, and I type in 104 whatever it is, and it just comes up like instantly. It's crazy. And the chat box, you hit enter and it's like right there. Dude, the site's phenomenal. Great job on that. I'm looking forward to seeing what else we got happening. I know it's kind of bare bones right now, but I'm looking forward to seeing what else we're going to be doing. Esso's been hyping up this scoreboard that's going to be happening. I never played for XBS. I never played for any other league, so like everything that I know is 239 is what I know. So the scoreboard, whatever that means, whatever that's going to be, it was like Esso when he was talking about the championship. He's just like, championship, it's going to be great. He's talking about the belt, like the championship. The scoreboard's going to be great. So I'm really looking forward to seeing whatever this scoreboard thing is going to be. I'm excited to see what that's going to have going on with it.
Well, I really want to get the stats for you guys so that you can sit there at work and you can go through all the stats. You can keep up to date with what's going on with the games, get a little more information, kind of scout your opponent a little bit better with more information. So I think all that stuff will really help out, especially with these type of shows. You got information that you can throw on, attack people with.
Hey, so I was talking to Esoteric about this. I don't know if he ever got to you through it. I think he did. I think he gave me a response, but I can't remember it off the top of my head. So one of the big things that we don't have with the 239 website right now in regards to stats, as a media person, as somebody that works with a lot of stats, I'm looking at trying to see what's happening every single week. I want to know who's doing what. Right now, there's no way to look at what the stats are going to be from week to week. Like, let's say I wanted to look at a date range of stats. Is that something that we're going to be able to see with the website as far as, like, let's say I want to see what happened last week during the playoffs? I just want to see what happened during this week of games and who's doing what, who's hot, who's not.
Sure. Yeah, we don't have that right now. Basically, I'm just trying to get the base statistics up and going into the various pages. But that is definitely the first thing I want to add, because it's at the XBS we used to have power rankings, and anybody that did the power rankings was able to see the stats for just that week alone. So then you don't have to dig through a bunch of stats and count them all up. It's right there available to you. And the date range is something I want to add. That's going to be one of the first things I'm going to add to the advanced statistics, where, like you said, you can look up from date X to date Y, or you can look up how you do against one specific team, how this team matches up against another team, all that kind of scouting reports, the various advanced statistics. That's going to be one of my main focuses once we get the site up and going, is just to start drilling with the extra information and just overload everybody with
that is going to be
statistics.
Sick. I can't.
That's going to be awesome.
It should be good. I'm a really big stat guy, so it's always my focus and everything.
Right now, you basically go through every single game and you write down, okay, D-Mart had like 3 goals and 1 assist in this game. D-Mart had like 4 goals and 1 assist in this game, and you just keep on going throughout the whole week.
Not
It's such a pain in the ass for every single game, especially with how slow the website is.
Yeah.
It's like you click on one day, and it's just like it takes like 5 minutes to load up. So
Yeah, absolutely.
that would be an absolute lifesaver. I know that there's a couple of stat guys in the media that are way excited just to hear that. I know there's going to be plenty more. Let's move on and talk about that just a tad later. We'll touch on that again. But we also had another series that ended already.
Before you get to the series, we got a couple fan requests to start out here. One come from Esoteric, kind of directed directly at Dan the man here. Why in the hell you don't switch those jerseys around? You don't have Jumbo Joe. You don't have him focused here.
No, I don't have a Jumbo Joe, man. I only have the Couture and the Marlowe up. The Joey's actually in my gear bag if I could go get it, but it probably smells like crap. Just can't do that.
I'm just telling you, Esso is pretty fucking disappointed about it, so I need to
I don't like Esso, though. I mean, I hate him. I hate him. I hate him.
What else you got, Agent? Is there anything else in the mailbag over there?
You know, there is another one coming in. Somebody was wondering, are you already starting to have pre-depression coming in, giving up that belt here this season, or what's your thoughts there?
Yes, man.
Too soon.
Planning on keeping the fucking belt. And I'm going to be losing it, and that my name's not going to disappointing. Yes. Actually, I'm going to be shipping it up to Nova Scotia up there for D-Mart to have it for a little while. He's got his name on it twice, so he's going to be, able to hang on to it for a little while, get some pictures with it, do whatever the hell else he wants to do with it. And he's going to be sending it down to Sober for a little while as well, since he's also got his name on there.
I've heard some stories from D-Mart. That belt could be in for a whole world of adventure.
We're going on a cruise.
Some of those
we got to see some cool pics on this thing.
We'll go visit Marty McFly. It'll be a good time.
Yeah. So then we're gonna ship it up to Esso and let him do the engraving for whoever ends up winning it this season between the guys that are left. But yes, to answer your question, yes, I am very disappointed that I have to give it up. It's been something that I've been like bragging about and like showing off all the time. So it's gonna be.
I hate looking at that fucking thing on your shoulder. Let me tell you.
It's gonna be disappointing that I don't have it any longer. But let's move on. Let's talk about Old Dad Specials taking on
Boys.
Boys. They play Daly's team. We don't have any representatives from Daly's team here. However, we've got 2 guys from the Old Dad Specials hanging out with us. We've got Agent yourself as well as Derek Cortez. Cortez, I haven't heard your voice in a while. How'd the series go for you there?
I'd say realistically the series kind of went how we expected it to. After the first night, we took the first 2 games and it went pretty solid. And right after that, our whole defensive core just shut down. We just didn't have it. DJ played great in the first 2 games there, and he even played great in Game 3 and Game 4. We just couldn't come alive for him up in the offensive portion for him. But I don't know. I mean, realistically, I think we could have done a lot better in the series. I think as a team, we didn't have enough time. I don't want to use the word time. I don't even want to have excuses realistically. I think some leadership was lacked a little bit, and that's not shots at Dank for saying that. I just mean in general for our team. Like I think some leadership lacked, and from there it was hard to kind of come together as a team after that first night, after 2 blowouts, to go out the night and be 2-2 going into the next night of games. But I don't know. I thought we could have taken it to 7 games, but to end it in 6 with 4 straight wins from boys was, I think that's kind of a perfect description of how the series went. Realistically, it just wasn't for us. It just didn't go in our favor.
Yeah, for sure. And Agent, I know you're itching to get off your chest, whatever you want to get off your chest. But real quick, I mean, so Cortez, you go up 2-0 in the series, Daly was playing forward in those 2 games. He slides back to D again. I mean, was that the difference? Was it just that, Daly went back on D?
I don't think so. I think realistically, I said it to Dales. I think both teams played out of their minds for the first 2 games. I think it was a really even matchup game. I think they were, Agent, correct me if I'm wrong, they were 1-goal games for both. First game was 1-0 us, and the second game was 3-2.
Yep.
2-1.
Okay. Or 2-1, my bad, sorry. So they were 1-goal games for both. I don't think Daly being on forward hindered their team at all. I think if anything, it actually created a decent offense for them during those games. I just think we were really on our game, and I think DJ was too. So when Dales dropped back, I think they just had a whole mental not breakdown, like the opposite of it. They got a little bit they felt more secure back in their DN, and they just kind of took more chances, I think, and we kind of collapsed as a team. So I don't think Dale's being up at forward hindered them in any way at all. I just think they played a lot more confident with Dale's back at defense, which, I mean, you can't blame them. Daly back at defense is pretty good.
I honestly think that really any change that you can make in a series that's any kind of significance, is really a game changer in the series. I mean, like, it's something else that you have to look at. It's something else that you have to worry about as the other team. And it's not necessarily, it doesn't necessarily have to be this great thing that you do.
Mm-hmm.
It's just something in the series that changes. And it's something else that you have to account for and you have to worry about as the other team. And I think that anything that you can do in a series to change things up, whether it's,
absolutely,
hey, we're gonna start throwing pucks in and dumping it from the blue line, whereas opposed to, we're just gonna start carrying it around the defense. Anything that you can do to change a strategy, to mix it up, to change what's going on, especially when you're going down 2-0 in a series, is a big deal. Now, Agent, Old Dad Specials are in the playoffs, and Captain Dank, after going 2-2 in the series, decides that he's going to not play in the following potential 3 games that you have left. What happened, man?
You said it yourself. You got to make changes. Might as well make the betterment of the team and put the better guy in to come play on forward with us. We played a lot better last night with Wizzy as a team, and I think we all had a hell of a lot more fun. Yeah, we lost them both. They're both 1-goal games for that matter. It was tough, but it was fun. I mean, we had a lot of fun playing. Wizzy played really great for not playing with a guy. We played with him. What was last night? We played with him.
I think we played
night.
2 practice games with him.
We played 2 games Tuesday night. That was it.
Yeah,
that was the first time we've ever played with Wizzy.
First time we ever even spoke to him too. It's
right.
It wasn't like he was just interactive all the time. He was just got on for that night. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
So shout out to him. He came in and played really well. He actually sparked our offense in one of the games to actually get us a point on the board and get us kind of going, get us playing a little bit. And he did really well. And it's tough, like Cortez said, had a lack of leadership, and your top point scorer doesn't show up. I mean, it is what it is. I don't think it hurt us by any means. It probably helped us more than anything, is my thoughts. But everybody played really well. DJ played fantastic in the net. I think personally he kind of won us game 1 and 2.
Absolutely.
Made some tremendous saves that Stephen Daly and Stephen Drift King both pointed out. So shout out to those guys. They played really well as a team. And games 3 and 4 we won't talk about because those were depressing. But that's just the way it went. I don't know if anybody else here actually watched any of the nights or any of the games, and if you have anything to say on it.
I watched a little bit of the series. I didn't watch any full game, but I did watch bits and pieces of it. And from what I could tell, it seemed really even matched. I don't know if Daly would have ever forgiven himself for making that forward movement, losing the first 2 games. If they wouldn't have went on to win this series, I don't think he would have forgiven himself for that move. But I think, mad props to Steven. And I know I love the love on this guy, right? But mad props to him because he did go up against your squad and he put up 3 shutouts. For any goalie in the league, that's fantastic. 3 shutouts is what
Something I'll say off that real quickly to go with your 3 shutouts, and this isn't to diss him at all. I don't think the 3 shutouts came from him playing well. I think the 3 shutouts came from a lack of offense on our end. I mean, I'll give him props any day. Shots fired. Yeah, like it's no, but it's not like to diss him. I'm not saying he's like bad goalie. You can ask
Zero
him.
love.
We lacked a lot of offense in game 3 and 4, and then to come, he played great in game 5. I think that's when he got his third shutout, right? Right, Agent?
Yeah.
So yeah, he came out in game 5 and he played pretty well because it was a 1-0 game. So he did call them, and I'll give him props on that. But I don't think the 2 shutouts from the first night was due to him playing stellar. I think it was just from us having a very lacking offense in that night. Like we just game 3 and 4, we were just off at that point.
Gotcha. Now, just to reiterate that real quick, the old dads had more shots throughout the series than the boys. Just to throw that out there. Steven, great job on your shutout, man. 3 of them.
He did a great job either way. I'll give him the shout out.
Even that though, there was 3 games that we lost that we had more time on attack than they did. It's just the way it goes, quality shots and
didn't the Old Dad Specials have a shutout too their first game?
Yep.
Yep.
DJ played on top of his head game 1 and 2. Like Agent said, I think he stole those games for us. Absolutely.
So, no, it was a really fun series to have, and like I said, I have no complaints about
goalie lives matter too.
He was an awesome guy to play with, and I'm glad we played with him. It was a lot more fun for all of us. So.
I do want to say, because Dank is my best friend in real life, because obviously as the first show I was on, I went at him a little hard, and I apologized to him in person. I was like, on text and everything. I was like, I'm sorry for it. It's not me dissing anyway. Like the friendship's still there and everything, but obviously the league comes to like what we're talking about here, and I think he kind of collapsed as the captain at that one night because we all went in the chat after we lost the 2 games from first night, and we kind of spoke up about how Agent couldn't attest for this because we've all talked about it. We as a team didn't really we weren't really in unison because we were afraid to make a mistake, because as soon as you make a mistake in that party, you're scolded for it. Like as soon as you make it, it doesn't matter if it's over and done with. If it was your only option, you're scolded for it, and it's not fun at that point. We didn't really play a style of hockey when we played either. We just played. I was talking to Daly about it, especially during the series as well. Sorry, we just played we just attack. If we get a goal, we get a goal. If we don't, we don't. We didn't really have a cycle game going. We didn't really have anything, especially against one of the probably the top defensive team in the league.
They were statistically.
But I think Agent's right though when he says when Dank sat himself, and that's no shots to him. I think we played a more offensive, a smarter offense. It wasn't a 3 straight line going in across the blue line offense where hopefully a shot's off and gets in. Or just like some scramble puck happens and you get it. We just didn't really have anything going when Dank was playing, and some talking went on between the team, and he decided to sit himself. And I think Wizzy played great. So realistically, shout out to Wizzy for his first game, and for us, especially coming out in playoffs to get us our first goal in 3 games after 3 straight shutouts. I give him. I just wanted to give him props for coming in and playing that. But either way,
yeah, man. Shout out to Wizzy War. He's a guy that I brought into the league. He kind of got booted around the league a little bit. He was on Tomahawk's team to start, and then he went to the Dank team. Kind of just like a throw-in piece in some trades here. He got a couple of games in, and I know he had a good time in the games that he did get to play. So I listen for guys that are just coming into the league and they don't really know anybody. They know the one guy that's in the league and whatnot. It's kind of a daunting experience to just be like thrown on a team and just having to be like that 6th guy that's kind of there but not there. That's hey, we might need you for this night. We might not. Just try and be on for us when you can be and stuff. So, I mean, shout out to Wizzy Ward. He stuck it out this season. I know he had a good time in the games he played. I think, anybody in the league, you're in the league to play. So it's kind of a rough time when you're not able to. But listen, we had me and Daly in a party with you guys on Tuesday night, I think it was. And Wizzy was in there, and he told him, it's just like, look, you look at a guy like Agent, his first season in the league, he was that guy. He was the 6th guy on the team. He got in when he could. He played when he could. And really what it comes down to is you need to play with everybody that you can in the league. You just need to get your name out there.
And get to know some people, absolutely, yeah.
Right, exactly. And you're going to get drafted. I mean, look, there's some guys that are just going to be the 6th guy until they prove otherwise. But in Wizzy's case, I think he's a better player than what he showed. or not what he showed. He wasn't really, asked to play, but I think he's a pretty good player, and I think he is going to have a chance next season to prove it on somebody's team. So, guys like the Rock, how'd you cope with being like the number 6 guy on your team out there? Like, I know, obviously you're here to play, you want to play. So what do you do, like, being that extra guy on the team that's just, waiting for your opportunity?
You just got to stay positive, I think, for the most part. There's always going to be opportunity. There's always going to be somebody that can't make a game, or the internet goes down, or whatever. They just want to change things up. But there's always going to be an opportunity at some point. And it's just a matter of if you're a cancer in the party and you're a cancer to try to schedule with. And sure, you may have skill, but if you're a captain, it's a nightmare. Like, at times it can be an absolute pain in the ass trying to hunt people down and everything. So personality goes a long way. Being available, being actively excited, that looks like you actually want to play. That's a good way to show your captain that you want to get in the games. But I did it myself at LG. I just came in completely cold. I came off Xbox forum and just went there and signed up. And so it's very nerve-wracking when you don't know anybody, and especially if you don't even know how good you are. Like, if you've never played with any guys with top quality skills, you don't know how good you are. And a lot of times it takes time to learn those skills. And that's what being the 6th guy is all about. So
yeah, you get there for your practices and stuff like that. Look, not everybody's going to make every practice. Not everybody's going to make every game. So you're going to have opportunities if you're on a roster. And I mean, then you've got guys like Marine Mike. Marine Mike goes into the draft this season, and unfortunately, he didn't get selected. He didn't get picked up as a waiver. But I think he ended up playing almost a full season's worth of games just because he was available the whole season. Every game day, there's somebody that needs a waiver, and they say, "Oh, well, why don't you hit up Marine Mike? Marine Mike's there, and he's available. He's ready to go."
I'm surprised the guy doesn't get drafted. He plays well. I think he deserves to be drafted. I'm surprised that he didn't, but I think
so
captain
too.
this season still.
I mean, look, I think that there's a lot of guys in the league like that. I mean, honestly, look, I'm gonna give a shout out to A. Thompson. A. Thompson is my boy. He was on my team last season. He was on my team this season, in the same role. Look, the guy, he's available whenever. He's competent when he gets in the game. Like, there's nothing wrong with the way that he plays. I think sometimes the general perception by other captains, by other players in the league, that you kind of got to get over to be able to make an impact. And really what it comes down to is whether you get a chance or not. I think, there's all these guys in the league that are like that. You got guys like Legion and stuff like that are kind of in that same boat, that are asked to, he signs up full-time, gets into a part-time role with the team. It just really comes down to whether you're asked to play a significant role on a team or not. But moving on, let's
Pixel, can you do us all a favor? Foot therapy is just asking for it, dude. He needs to see him. He needs to see the feet, dude. He's begging.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
That's gonna get screenshot in a week, I guarantee.
There you go. I tried for you, Chew. I don't know.
You got it.
Playing along. Oh, there you go. You got her.
Speaking of Chew Therapy, those guys are going to be playing in about 15, 18 minutes, whatever we got left. Vanilla Nut Taps are taking on the number 2 seed Jager Bombs.
What you got?
What's the series at?
Defensive teams, man.
2-2.
The series
2-2.
2-2. Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
So there's potential. It's going to go at least 6 games. It might go 7. Look, these two teams are both defensive units. You got Stealth Luka D. He was a self-teamer last season. He's playing out of his mind defensively. He's playing out of his mind offensively. He's just a really good player in his own right. On the other side, you got Esoteric. You got Chew Therapy and Net. It's really a battle of goaltenders. I mean, on the Jager Bombs, you got B. Cripps, who's probably a Vezina candidate. Chew Therapy is another Vezina candidate. You've got 2 really defensive-minded squads just battling it out. They're just going back and forth. So I'm going to throw it back to you again, Pixel. You're on the Vanilla Nut Taps. You're the only one that's representing either team from the series here today. What do you think is going to be the difference in the series for the Vanilla Nut Taps and the Yager Bomb?
It's been a good series. I don't know if anybody's caught the games or not. It's one of the ones I've been fortunate enough to watch, and they've all been 1-goal game differences. The Vanilla Nut Taps managed to come back from a 3-goal down deficit going to the third period. Bob scored the game tire at 0.8 seconds left and everything. It's been very back and forth between both teams. They both had their opportunities. It's a toss-up at this point. Obviously, I'm going to go for my team. I really do. They've been working really hard. A lot of communication going on. They have good plans, game plans, and everything like that. So I think they've got a good grasp on what's going to come up tonight. But, I mean, it's EA. You never know. You don't know where those bouncers are going to go, and you don't want to leave it to the 7th game because you never know. But it's going to a fun game, and I can't wait to watch them tonight. It's going to be exciting.
For sure. Hey, D-Mart, we haven't heard your lovely voice in a while. What do you think's going to happen in this series, man? Vanilla Nut Taps or Yager Bombs? Who you got?
I think Chewy's going to get spoon-fed tonight. No, seriously, what's going to happen? I mean, you got this series is great to watch. I've been watching it, and I don't want to say it, but you know that Peaceful Bob goal that Pixel was just talking about? I thought the game was over. They iced the puck. There was like 2 seconds left. I didn't know. I didn't look. I just looked down. I see Bob celebrating. I'm like, what the hell? So, I mean, that series has been close. It's been 1-goal games. I think all of them pretty much. And you got Luka versus Esso on the dot. And those two are probably the best 2 defensive centers in the league. And if Marty was there playing center, he's a top 5 defensive center too. So, I mean, you've got Marty and Esso defensively. The question is, can Murph come out tonight and make a big difference? I mean, I know all the other guys are going to be out there and playing. If Murph can come out and be a difference maker tonight, I think they'll take the series in 6.
Yeah, Murph's kind of the X factor for the Nut Taps there. I mean, you know what you're getting out of Esso, Tarek, and Marty. I mean, they're both defensive first players. They both kind of play a pretty similar game. They really need Murph to be that offensive catalyst for their team. You know, if Stealth Luka is the offensive catalyst for the Yager Bombs, then Murph's the offensive catalyst for the Vanilla Nut Taps. And they both kind of need to be that X factor for their team. The guy that's going to get that late goal is going to put them up and really give them that boost that they need when they need it. It's about timely goals. Let's throw it over to you, Ability. Have you watched any of this series? What do you think about these two teams?
I haven't had a chance to watch any of the series yet, and that's because I think I played on the same night they did when they started this. But I played against both these teams. I don't know how this one's going to pan out. I think I want to give the edge to the Nut Taps, and that's tough for me to do because they're going up against the #1 goalie in the league. And I know that breaks Shotgun's heart to hear that, but statistics are what they are. I think that Stealth Luka is going to have some phenomenal games coming up right here. And BC Renton and Valcor, they're going to have to play some of the best D that they've ever played because they're going up against one of the top defensive teams.
Well, hold on one second. Valcor is not going to be in this series tonight. He is on vacation. Marine Mike will be.
Yeah, that's another huge factor. I mean, he's a great. He's so underrated.
The Yager Bombs.
Well, you know what?
Interesting.
Marine Mike has stepped in and helped teams win games they weren't supposed to win. He's done that this time. So he might do that again here tonight. Just to go back, I wanted to touch on this real quick because I didn't get to throw props this way, and I know Daly would have. Shout out to Daly, but shout out Joe Thornton. What? Yeah, shout out
to Joe Thornton. Shout out to Daly. You know.
Shout out Joe Thornton, absolutely.
I want to give Thamps his props. Thamps in that series was, I believe, Thamps was the all-star for the boys in that series. So he had.
Are you talking about the cherries or what?
Was he picking cherries?
He is picking some cherries.
Oh, okay.
Kudos to his D for finding them. I'll give him that. But he is picking cherries.
And then last shout out goes to Daly and his island. Way to bring the island back, bro.
Oh yeah, there was this left wing for the Old Bad Specials, and I think it's disputed, but I think he put up one.
Let me drink myself to sleep here quick.
Next time we pass the bleach, we have Agent.
I mean, honestly, it was the first
Sure
series.
that we were
Last
done.
night was the most I touched the puck on since I joined the ODS squad, so that was kind of
That is very true. That is very true.
And also,
Exciting.
Cortez Steven said, Cortez Steven wanted me to tell you that you had your chances and you blew it.
Yeah,
Oh,
we know.
I mean, fair. I
You
wasn't
say
trying
anything
to
bad
bash
about
him.
Steven, and you got to hear about it.
Oh, I wasn't trying to bash him at all. I was just saying.
Anything you say about Steven is it's an insult.
Jesus.
Rip.
We love you too.
She's trying to sleep, Agent.
All right, so let's do predictions. Let's run it down the line real quick. Cortez, 2-2 series. It's got to go to 6. It might go to 7. Who do you got, Jager Bombs or Vanilla Nut Taps?
I want the nut taps, man. I want an upset. I want to see one. Other than that reason, that's the only reason I really want to see it. That's really about it. I just want to see nut taps taken in 7.
Nut Taps in 7. All right, Danny Martin, how you feeling about this series, bud?
Well, I knew that Valcor was not going to be here, so I did pick Chew Therapy's team or Esso's team in 6. But yeah, I think it's just going to be a close 2-1, 3-2, 3-1. But you can't sleep on Luca. You can't sleep on Sniper and Don up front. You can't because they came in second place. We only came in first place by 1 point. So I mean, they're there for a reason. So you got to look out for that. But I think the X factor, Valcor not being there, and then Murph. Great night tonight, and then they'll win in 6.
All right, I think Agent's dealing with some shit right now.
I'm not.
Oh, you're good? Okay. Agent, how you feeling about the Jager Bombs and Vanilla Nut Taps? What do you think tonight?
Honestly, that's a tough series. I think it's a toss-up. I think it's going to go to 7 games. And I think in game number 7, the Jager Bombs take it. I think they're going to put it together and shut down Murph. I think that's what it's going to come down to, is shutting him down to beat the Nut Taps.
All right. Jager Bombs in 7 there. Master Shotgun. You got 2 really defensive teams. You got your buddy D. Crips over there in net, and the one net and Shoot Therapy in the other. You got a couple of really good goalies. Who do you think is taking it?
I don't think the X factor in this series is the goaltenders. I actually think it's the forwards, but I'm actually gonna. It's tough though, but I think it's gonna go to 7, and I'm gonna have to go with my boy Renton and the Jager Bombs, just because I know Renton is a great defenseman. Cripps obviously is an amazing goalie, and Stealth Lucia. I've only played with him a couple times, but just from playing with him this couple times, I know he's a really good player. So it's Jager Bombs in 7.
All right, ability. What do you think, Jager Bombs or Vanilla Nut Taps?
All right, well, real quick, I think B Crips is going to steal one more game with the help of Marine Mike and BC Renton. I think that's going to happen. But I'm going to take the Nut Taps. I think they're going to take it in 7, though. I think what's going to end up happening, my guess here, is going to be the Bombs come out and win game 5. And then I think game 6 is going to go the Nut Taps way. And they're going to ride that momentum into the 7th game and probably slam the door on it. I just think that momentum and team chemistry plays more of a role in playoff games than we talk about. It's chemistry, keeping the party, in a good position. Everyone's happy, doing their thing, scoring some goals, laughing their way around it. I think that's going to happen with the Nut Taps tonight. Prove me wrong, Jager Bombs. You guys had a great season. Let's see if you can continue. It's going to be a struggle tonight. This is going to be a fun one to watch.
All right, Pixel. We know that you have the Vanilla Nut Taps. How many games do you think it's going to take?
I'd hope for 6, but it's hard not to say 7. They've all been so close. I think I agree with ability. Vanilla Nut Taps have all season long, they've been behind, and they've come back in the 3rd period to tie things up. They've won in overtime. They've won the 3rd game of the series a lot all season. So I think that it's very easy to get up on them and then think that you're ahead, and then watch out because they'll come back in the 3rd period. You can never count them out, and I think that it's going to go that way. Game 6 and 7, it's going to be Vanilla Nut Taps. You can take it.
Yeah, and for mine, I think Valcor being out is a big thing to overcome. He's been a rock for them on D for the Jager Bomb squad, and I don't know that they're going to be able to overcome that. But you know what? People have been calling out that the Jager Bombs are not going to overcome offensive woes and defensive woes, and is their goalie really that good? They've been answering these questions all season long. They've been questioned to death. They're probably the most underrated team that made the playoffs because they came in as the number 2 seed, and really nobody gave them a shot the whole damn season. So, that being said, I do think Valcourt is a giant piece they're going to be missing. I am going to take the Manila Nut Taps in 7. I think Nut Taps get it done. I think Chewy shuts the door in Game 7, and I think they get it going. It is about 9:54. We got about 5 minutes left. Anybody got anything that they want to say specific?
Yeah, I've got a special announcement to throw out there. So I have been in talks with, and I know you're all going to find this humorous, right? I've been in talks with Hansel Roberto and
He's him.
and Matt Daly. Okay, I need to clarify this on air to the league. This is no joke. I am not Hansel Roberto. I know that a lot of you want to believe that, and my smile seems like it's lying. That is not the case. I'm not Hansel Roberto, but I've been talking with Hansel Roberto, and we've been working along with Daly. Hansel's taking time out of his day, whatever he's doing, wherever he's at, and he's helping this league. He's doing some really fun stuff with it. And so tonight, for you guys, let me pull it up real quick. Hansel's gonna be introducing to the league player cards, and they're gonna look something like this. See if I can get it up here.
I like the Lucky Charms.
What? Hold on. Malfunction?
Please wait while we experience some technical difficulties.
Wouldn't you know that I happen to have a technical difficulty right when that's going on?
Right. All right. You just got to leave Tails' beautiful face up there.
Well,
great.
While he's working on that, does anybody have anything else they want to say?
Yeah.
So real quick, I just wanted to give a quick shout out. Hollywood's actually been kind of doing this all season. He's been pulling out some highlights that you guys have been recording on the Xbox DVR function and throwing them up there on Imager. It's like a gift creation application. So basically, takes your Xbox DVR and it makes a GIF out of it, and it's just on a loop. You see them in the write-ups and stuff like that. The last couple days, some of our GIFs that he's been throwing up on Imager, I don't really know that much about the site. It's a site that you can like and favorite certain images and stuff like that. But some of these GIFs that he's been throwing up there have been blowing up. Legion had a save the other night against Cosmic Fade on a breakaway. Hugh Laurie mentioned it in his write-up. It has almost 6,000 views on the Imager.
Oh, shit.
I don't know where this is coming from. I don't know. We had a guy just sign up on the 239 website, say, hey, I found you guys by going on Imager and checking out, these NHL clips that you guys are throwing up there. We had another one by Ozzy9041 in my series. He peeked through basically my entire team and scored, and that's up over like 6,000 views. So stuff's kind of blowing up on that end. I want to give Hollywood his props. He's doing all that himself, and he's just throwing out these taglines. Use them in the write-ups. Link them to the site. Get some popularity going for us. Get a little bit of hype generated. It's a cool thing that he's got going on over there.
All right, yeah.
Ability, I think he got it up there. So what are we looking at?
Yeah, I got it. And big shout out to Hollywood too. Thank you. I snagged some stuff off of his Twitter account that I was putting on the screen. The background statistics from all the game breakdowns was fantastic. But this is one of the player cards, and I know it's not showing up in purest quality over here on my monitor, but he's making these player cards. Now, this is just the front side of the card that he made for my player. He also did one for Daly, and that's kind of fitting if you ask me. But it's going to have a breakdown of your player rating, your dynamic player rating, the position you play, and he went as far as to even inquire about the gear that you're wearing, the hairstyle of your player. I mean, the whole works. And there's going to be a backside to this card. I don't have a backside to display for you guys yet, but it'll be coming. And that's going to be a legitimate player breakdown of all your statistics, probably from season to season. That can be updated season to season. I imagine that this is the route it's going. But this is pretty cool. I think
that's awesome.
what's going to end up happening is that just like I had to do today, give up some information about my player and whatnot, he's probably going to inquire that information for a lot of people in the league. So be prepared. If the request comes your way from a Hansel Roberto to send him some info about your character, do that, because these player cards are going to be awesome, and the backsides of them are going to be statistically awesome. So I'm looking forward to it. This is pretty cool, and I believe that after the show's over, he's going to throw them up on Twitter, so you'll be able to go there and check them out yourselves and see how awesome these really look.
Yeah, man, and that's really cool. Look, shout out to Hansel Roberto. Nobody knows who he is unless you're him here. But shout out to
Is it Pixel? That was so weird. It just went to Pixel. He was like, oh.
You know, he's throwing out a lot of content out there for the league. Who knows who this guy is? It doesn't really matter at this point. He's just doing stuff that's pretty cool. It's generating hype that I was talking about earlier. It's a cool addition to the league, and I'm really excited to see what else he's going to be putting out there. Because I think having that out there, having like the player profiles and, you know, having a Twitter account that's announcing like game nights and who scores updates and, you know, just a centralized location that's also taking care of, you know, Twitch streams and everything else. It's a cool thing. I'm not a big user of Twitter. I've never had really a Twitter before. I signed up for it after seeing what this guy was doing. So it's not really all that big a thing, you know, for me personally, because it's hard for me to keep track of. I've got a Facebook, and that's pretty much it for my social media life. But it is a cool thing. Checking it out daily. I've got notifications on my phone, so I'm seeing everything that he's putting out there. I'm really excited to see what else he comes up with next. And that will about do it, guys. We're right up against it. Last chance for anybody that's out there. Cortez, D-Mark, Shotgun. Who's got something left? Who wants to say something?
Good luck tonight to the series that's going on. Yeah. Franco, go Rat and shut him down.
All right, so that's going to do it for the Thursday Throwdown. 239 Hockey Fan. This is Pale Poner. We got Derek Cortez, D-Mark, Agent 007, Ability, and The Rock and Master Shotgun. Almost left one of you off. That's going to do it for us. I think we had a good show. Thanks a lot for the watching.
Peace. Thanks, guys.